ahead and start a new file. So anytime you want to create, like I was playing around on my canvas in a previous tutorial, but I'm going to just start a new file. And I'm just going to pick a standard. I can set the dimensions here if I want to. I can set the frame rate. I can change that to be 10 frames per second if I want to, and I can hit create. The frames per second we'll see a little bit later when we start animating. But I have my canvas here. One more time just to review. To change the stage color, to change this canvas color, I can change the color from there. Now I just want to show you some unique ideas about these tools. So if I have a rectangle and I'm going to go ahead and morph this shape a little bit. So I'm going to click on the selection tool, and if I move my mouse out of the edge, I'm just going to click somewhere out here in the scratch. Move my mouse so you see this little half circle at the bottom of my arrow. As soon as I get that, I'm going to hold my mouse button down and click and drag. So I can change any of my shapes to have a unique look. I've seen people draw the profile of a face with the nose this way, and it works for anything. If I have a star or a triangle of some sort, I can move my mouse towards the edge, and again, you look for that half circle and you bring it in. So now I have this kind of fish with a big mouth going on here. Some other things you can do, if I hold the Alt key down, it doesn't, so if I just drag in, it's soft and it's a nice twist. But if I hold my Alt key down, it's pointed when I bring that in. So you can try some other combinations of that. If I would draw a circle, I'm going to get rid of the stroke and undo. I'm going to draw another circle without the stroke. So I have an eye there, and let's decide I don't like that eye. Here's a new unique problem. It's not a problem. You can use this to your benefit, but if I double click on it and hit delete on my keyboard, it leaves a hole inside my shape. So you do need to be careful when you're working with shapes if you overlap them, but I can come in here and I can morph this too, which could leave a window for something underneath if I want to later on. It's a little bit of a uniqueness of the tool. I'm going to add a line through this. So it's using my stroke color to make the line. And now when I click on it, if I click on this line, I want the whole line, but it's only selecting this part. So now it's broken into segments because I'm on the same layer, which we didn't talk about layers, and I'm not going to right now, but that's the reason why. So it's only recoloring part of this stroke. It counts as different segments at this point. So I can click on this segment and make that black, or I could probably undo and redraw the line so that it's all black. That's probably going to be an easier way to do that, but just to kind of show you that Adobe Animate breaks this into sections now, but those sections can be morphed and I can do different things with those. I can also take a look at the style of my stroke and I can make it dashed, but to see the dashes, you would need to drag the size of it down. So if I'm on this line, that's by selecting the line, there's dashes. I put the stroke down so it's a smaller size and you can actually see the dashes. And you always have that available for your stroke. Some other tools. This tool allows me to double click, or I can select an object and move it. So this is your selection tool. This is a resize tool. So if I select this tool, I can make this smaller or bigger, stretch it out, taller or wider. I can also move my mouse to the top corner. When it turns into that circle, I can tilt it and rotate an object. So again, just to be clear, I can select the whole object and hit the resize button and make it bigger or smaller. I can also do that with these independent objects, make them bigger or smaller, but it might take away something from underneath it, depending on how you have it set up. So there's a little bit of some uniqueness about the tools. It does take a little bit of getting used to and playing with, especially that morphing concept. So if I have a line, I use my selection tool to move my mouse, and then I can bend something. If I use my Alt key, I can make a point in it. So some tricks with the tools in Adobe Animate.